Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It is Saturday, October 5th. Actually, today's opening day of muzzleloading season, but yesterday we had 76 degrees. I love deer hunting, but, I don't want to have anything go to waste, right? So, what are we going to talk about today? Today, we're going to talk about cutting through the noise. And you're probably looking at me with a blank stare saying, "What?" I'm saying sometimes you need to cut through the noise. There's so much noise going on around us that we aren't able to have our own thoughts, and our own ideas on stuff because of so much noise. And that noise can be traffic, can be other people, can be music. It can be anything that's distracting you from just enjoying things when they're quiet. And I find that if I'm really having a hard time with something, if I find someplace quiet where I can just kind of mellow out, the answers come. And that's what today's video is on. So stay tuned and we'll talk more about it. Alrighty, welcome back. My name is Eric, and yes, this is the weekend. This is Saturday, October 5th. So, what do I mean by cutting through the noise? It's like, when I was growing up, and maybe you guys are the same way, or maybe you were the same way, but if things were bothering me a lot, my go to was music. And I would put a set of headphones on and just crank the music. And I wasn't trying to cut through the noise. I was trying to use noise to shut out the other noises and to give me relief, Because when you're younger, it's hard. It's hard for you guys. You're all trying to figure out, who you are and what you want to be. Heck, I don't even know what I want to be now, so I could just imagine what I was when I was in my teens and 20s. And I remember when I graduated too, when I started driving and stuff, I would roll the windows up in my car or a truck, because I had both, and I would crank the music and how heavy the bass on the stereo and stuff. And you thought I was in the hood with a toon 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 toon, and it wasn't to cut through the noise; it was to drown out the other noises. So I was just taking one noise and putting it in place of all the others, so I didn't listen to it. And the other noises in life, do take a toll. And we've talked about how things, when we focus on things, right? If we're looking at a bad day, something bad going wrong, and we focus on that, and then next thing you know, it's everything goes wrong. I'm always bad. Blah blah blah. It's a downhill spiral, right? We think it's the truth at the time, but it's not the truth, is it? Not even close. You know, I've always said that, God will never put something in front of you that you can't do. Is it going to take sacrifice? Is it going to take, you know, on your part, participation? Yes. You can't sit on the sideline and hope somebody else is going to do it for you. But in the same token, your life is not going to be a struggle every day, every hour, every minute, every second, right? But when we're down on ourselves, looking at a bad day, let's say, we've discounted the other 364 days it could have been good, right? And we're looking at all the bad things in our life, all the things we've done wrong. And we're really getting down on ourselves. And it sure in hell don't help when you have other people reinforcing that thing on you of, let's say you're having an argument with your better half. And look, better halves argue. It's they come together afterwards, right? They work through it. That's what a good relationship is. Good friends are going to argue at times. But they're going to persevere. They're going to make it through, right? And be a stronger friendship. But when you're down on yourself, people are, if that other person that you're arguing with says you're a low life, and you already feel like you're a low life, and that it reinforces it, right? And it makes it compounds it, is what it does. You have to look at some of the things in life and say, if we didn't have it happen, we wouldn't know how to enjoy when the good times come. We all have to have trials and tribulations. Life is not a bed of roses. Never has been, never will be. Everybody has problems. You're not unique. I'm not unique. And our problem-solving abilities as we get older, hopefully with experience and wisdom, we can deal more efficiently. We can deal better at them. But it doesn't take any less away from we all have problems, right? And what's the best way to tackle a problem? For me, anyways, is to break it down into smaller, manageable pieces. And then, that's the problem, I think, today, is that a lot of people have lost their faith. And I don't care if it's an alien, higher power, God, if it's a man or a woman, doesn't matter. But when you don't have somebody greater than yourself that's willing to help you, you feel alone with it, right? And you become overwhelmed. But if you're not alone with it, and there is somebody looking over you saying, do the best you can. That's all I ask. Do the best you can. And if that's not good enough, that's not good enough. But it's good enough for us. And the other thing is, with my beliefs is I get a good sleep at night. And what do you mean by that? I mean, by the time I get ready to go to bed, which is around 7:30, 8 o'clock, I know it's early, but I'm an early riser. I've got two choices. I either can lay in bed, toss and turn, and not get a good night's sleep, worrying about the things that I've had on my plate all day, right? Or I can give it up to him, because there's not a darn thing I can do between now and morning that's going to make a significant difference. And a lot of times just getting a good night's sleep and a different day and a different look at what the situation is will bring me the answers that I look for. And in life, there's certain things that's going to come your way that the best thing to do is nothing. Is nothing. Because there's nothing you can do about it. And that is when you start talking about how to get other people to do what you want them to do. And in life, once you learn, the only one you can get to do what you want you to do is you. And even that's a struggle, right? So the topic is cutting through the noise. So what do I mean by cutting through the noise? I have the luxury of living in the North Country, in rural America. I'm not close to a city. Biggest town or city that next to me would be probably half an hour away, and it's got maybe 10,000. But I think the population of my town is like 1,200, 1,500 people. But I can go out on my back porch. See, cutting through the noises, you want to get rid of all the distractions where you get a chance to think. And if I take a cup of coffee and I go out on my back porch, which I have in the evening, it's quiet. You might get a car going by once in a while, but not so much. The dogs, they'll come out and lay at my feet and enjoy the weather. But the things that I start to notice is I have a pond that we built. And I've got like a 3-foot koi and some goldfish in there, huge. And they started off like that big at Walmart. But they can't get out of this pond. It's not there's no outlet to it. But I start to hear the frogs going ribbit, ribbit. And I start looking to see if I can see a frog. And I hear a swirl or a splash, and it's the koi coming up to the top of the pond, grabbing a gulp of air, and then dropping back down. Then I start to hear a cluck, cluck, and a gobble. Sure enough, I look up, and here comes 8 or 10 turkeys. It's an old hen with this year's hatch, and they're walking up the meadow. And then I can hear a screech. And I look around, and sure enough, it's a older adult bald eagle with the white on the neck, flying around looking for his next meal. Why didn't I hear them before? Because there was too much noise. The TV, somebody else talking, being, immersed in other things. To me, if anybody wants to get to know themselves very well, you need to get back to nature. And that's one of the draws that I have about deer hunting, is that I go and I get in a tree stand in the middle of the woods, and it's quiet. And I mean quiet. And then I can hear the crunching of the leaves. And I'm thinking, maybe that big buck is working its way out. Only to find out it's a gray squirrel digging up the acorns from the oak trees. And I'm watching him take and go up and bury them. And as he gets done burying them, I don't know how they keep track of where they put them. I watch a red squirrel go up and dig it up and steal it. But I wouldn't have seen, I wouldn't have heard, I wouldn't have without getting rid of the noise. And in life, you need to cut through the noise because you get so many distractions going on in our lives. Whether it's things that we're supposed to be doing, work and other employees talking, equipment running, stuck in traffic. And you're longing just to be able to cut through the noise. And for a lot of people, if you're not able to cut through the noise every so often, it can lead to mental health issues. So what do you guys think of that? I mean, do you guys ever do that? As far as cutting through the noise, do you have a quiet place where you can just sit down and read a book Enjoy your cup of coffee. Have a cigar, have a cigarette. Just kick back. This here is my quiet room. I have the dogs, but they're being good because they know we're doing a video. That's Sheeby and Shelby. But they know I'm doing a video, so they're trying to be quiet. This is my other quiet room. This is where I have good thoughts. I mean, this is where I come up with ideas for the videos. It's quiet. It's cutting through the noise. Flipping through your phone at shorts and all the other stuff is not cutting through the noise. It's adding distractions to anything that you do in life. And I think that this instant gratification that we're seeing in these day and ages is made it even harder because people think that it should come easy. And life is not easy. You can make life easier by your choices, but still in the end, it was never easy. It was never meant to be easy. If everything went right in your life up until you're 40 and everything had been hunky-dory, how well are you equipped to handle something going wrong? Not very, because everything has been all perfect for you, right? But what did you learn when it was always perfect? You don't have any real wisdom or experience of dealing with. How do you know it's good if you never had bad? You know, you hear the old saying, when it rains, it pours. Well, sometimes the drought needs rain. And like out in the southern states with the droughts, and in North Carolina, they don't need it anymore. Send a special prayer for you guys that are in those states that were affected by the hurricane, and it's just devastating. They're dealing with problems. They're dealing with real life issues, and they will be stronger for it. And they have the Lord. If you ever listen to most of them talk, is they have God on their side, a higher power. And they have the faith to continue on, even with so many losses of life. You know, that's what I say, that when you think you got it bad, look around. Somebody else is going to have it much worse off than you, and still trying to get through. Today is not going to be a long video. I just thought today, it's time to, talk about cutting through the noise, because a lot of people either drowned it out like I did when I was younger, or they don't take time for themselves just to find their quiet place. You need me time. And that me time is finding some place where it's quiet and you can have good thoughts, or your mind is allowed to just enjoy the quietness. So let me know in the comments, where is your quiet space? Where you get it together? Where you find answers? So on that note, you guys have a great Saturday, and I might be around tomorrow for another video. You never know. But one thing I can tell you is that I really appreciate all of you on the channel and putting up with me on a daily basis. It makes me laugh because I've been trying to tweak it a little bit. looking at trying to get in more views, more subscribers, getting the word out to more people that life is good, just all how you look at it. And in doing so, AI is involved with everything, right? Artificial intelligence. So it gives like I've got this program that gives you a scorecard on your video and how it ranks, from 0 to 100. And it made me laugh because it said your thumbnails aren't appealing enough. There's too much clutter and an unkept man. Yes, an unkept man. Yes, I don't shave every day. Yes, I'm not here for a popularity contest on the best dressed or the most, set up scenes behind me. I am who I am. And I let you get to see the real me, not someone that I'm trying to be on camera. All right, you guys have a great day, and we'll catch you here bright and early tomorrow morning.